to Real Talk with Saieed. I'm your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Now remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on our fixed deposit, viewers. Remember, we are the oldest financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you this. Remember, your interest up front, nowhere else in Trinidad and Tobago, you are going to go and get a fixed deposit of 5% and your interest up front. Remember that, viewers, we are the oldest financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you 5% on our fixed deposit with your interest up front. Remember that. So I just want to elaborate a little bit on it, viewers. Now, most of you may not understand what is the interest up front and what is the 5%. So I would say this. If you invest 100,000, 200,000, let's use that 200,000 figure so you would understand. You invest $200,000 in Real Talk Financing. That is $50,000 with interest at the end of 5 years. Now, you do not have to wait 5 years to collect your $50,000 interest. Within 7 to 14 days time, once you sign up your fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing, they are going to call you within 7 to 14 days to come and collect your interest. Of how much? Of $50,000. So you don't have to wait 5 years or 10 years. You're getting your interest within the first 7 to 14 days of your application. And we at Real Talk Financing, we are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is doing that. We are a leader among the rest. A leader among the rest. So viewers, just remember that, like I said, it won't be around for much longer. But now is the opportunity to let your money work for you. You have already worked for your money. You have already worked for your lump sum. You put it away. Now it's time for your money to work for you. Remember that. So Trinidad and Tobago, we are open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact our office. Set up an appointment. Come down at 14 Carolina Savannah Road or 25 Cipero Street in San Fernando and talk with our staff, or you can even call me at 339-1670. Our numbers are on screen, viewers. Take it down. Make the phone call tomorrow before you miss out on this great offer. So as we start our program tonight, just a little update. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is reminding former Prime Minister Patrick Manning is remembering on the 9th anniversary of his death. Imagine that, she is remembering him. But nevertheless, at least she's remembering him. Now, on her Facebook post on Wednesday, Beckles described Manning as a visionary leader, and reflective on the role he played in shaping her political journey. Beckles said she remained deeply grateful for his mentorship, support, and example. Also concluded with the statement, "May our beloved Mr. Manning continue to rest peacefully, watching over us from above." Well, to be honest, she is wishing that his soul is resting peacefully, looking over us. But to be honest with you, I'm sure Mr. Manning is very upset with the past PNM administration and how they govern Trinidad and Tobago. I'm sure about that. But nevertheless, that's between he and his maker. Like I would say, may his soul rest in peace also. Moving along. Marabella residents has finally returned to their home after Heritage Petroleum Company Limited confirmed that cleanup activity on a recent hydrocarbon leak in the vicinity are completed. An update from the company indicates that air quality assessment confirmed that the level remain within acceptable standard. Heritage said it will continue to monitor the impacted area and remain committed to supporting affected residents as part of its ongoing response effort. Now viewers, that was some update for you in Trinidad and Tobago. Now we are going to our current affairs department. Now viewers, Austria has raised concerns surrounding the upcoming official visit of India Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Trinidad and Tobago and confirmed that a formal letter will be sent to the office of the Prime Minister and the India High Commissioner on the matter. General Secretary Rahimul Hussain said while the organization respects the rights of sovereign nationals to pursue diplomatic engagement, it's necessary to let me tell you something. It is necessary to critically examine the PM Modi's political legacy. This includes the 2002 Gujarat riot, the Discriminatory Citizens Amendment Act, the revocation of the Kashmir's special constituencies and constitutional status, and to top it off, the symbolic inauguration of the temple on the site of the demolitional Babri Masjid. The Austria General Secretary said those actions raised significant concerns among human rights organizations, legal scholars, and interfaith communities on erosion. Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you something, all over the world, people recognize different ministers visiting different countries. All over the world, we will find religious battle. All over the world, anywhere you go, you're going to find political motive. You're going to find political battles. You're going to find religious battles. So whatever religious, or I am a Muslim, everybody knows that. But whatever religious battle they are having, you deal with it. I am a Muslim. And I respect Mr. Modi visiting Trinidad and Tobago. I believe after here, he is going to Barbados. So who wants the war against the man? All your war against the man. And I will always say this, Trinidad and Tobago, if your house catch a fire, or the neighbor house catch a fire, try to save yours. In saving yours, lend assistance to the neighbor. Always remember that. Never cut your nose. Never cut your nose if you don't have to help somebody. I telling all of that. So that's that part of the thing. He's coming to Trinidad and Tobago. He's probably visiting the Caribbean. He's a Hindu, part of a big religious faith around the world. That's Modi. In Trinidad, we have Kamala, who is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. She's a Hindu. Whatever Hindu festival she will assist because that is her religion. That is her religion. I am not going against it. Neither should anybody go against anybody's religion. Everybody have a background. Everybody converted from one religion to the next. Hey, you understand? Thank God we have no religion one Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Thank God. Because we're too small for that. 1.4 million people and all want to fight among ourselves. All are we black? Imagine we own black people killing we own black people. Good thing you don't want a religious war down here, no? Serious. I thank God for that. Trust me, but nevertheless, we're moving along. Minister of Public Utility Barry Patharat has confirmed that an estimated 10,500 people who were fired from the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, CPEP, will be receiving money soon. Addressing concerns over the sudden move, Patharat emphasized that the government decision was not aimed at leaving workers without income or support. He said, contractors will be paid soon. Listen to this.
In the interim, what will happen is that they will receive that 1 month payment in lieu of notice. So it is not just a slapdash measure that we just cut people and send them home. We have invoked that clause, therefore contractors will be paid, and therefore they are expected to do the right thing by their employees as well.
Now viewers, Patharat said, in addition to the payment, workers can access assistance from the Ministry of the People's Social Development and Family Service, which has been placed on standby if needed. So the man is telling you all, he's not making a promise that he cannot keep. We heard about promises that couldn't be kept for 9 years. Good? So the man is telling you, you will get your money soon. Now it's month 10. You expect your money? He said you will get your money. Good? He has also placed on high alert the Social Development and Family Service Department. In case of anything, apply to them. So the man that didn't just cut your contract, they put something in place. You may not know that, but I am telling you now. The minister also announced that the new CPEP board immediate mandate will be to begin the process of registering new contractors under the stipulated amidst its improvement, transparency, and delivery of service across communities. Listen to this.
The issue of how do we move forward with CPEP, and that has to do with the opening of a registration process in a very transparent way. That will be shared in terms of how that registration process will roll out. The contractors must come from the communities, and the contractors then are expected, and it will be stipulated in the agreements going forward, that they are to hire persons from within the community.
Now viewers, he said, following the streamlining of the process, prospective contractor will be invited to apply for contracts. Patharat said the audit into the program was still ongoing. So the man didn't leave all your hanging. He didn't. So all those who pushing the narrative that, oh, we get cut out from the work, and I is the only breadwinner, and we don't know when we get in work. You get in your month's pay, and you can still apply to social development, if necessary. So relax. I am telling you, relax. Everything is being sorted out. Despite government promise to rehire and 1 month pay during an audit of questionable CPEP contract, workers staged a protest outside CPEP headquarters in St. Madeleine earlier today. Workers and contractors urged the government to fast-track the audit and reinstate them before the new school term is open. Firstly, let me tell you something. You cannot fast-track an audit. An audit have to take its course. An audit have to take its course. Remember that. So I just want to ask you, $2.6 billion gone missing. The Auditors General cannot give account for that money because she don't know where it gone. Right? Now, all listen to me good. You work, you paid your tax, and your tax money gone missing. But you know, we are protest for that. We are protest for that. You paid tax. And you're pretending like you don't care where your money gone. No wonder why we have bad roads. No wonder why you can't get water. Because if you ain't want to find out where your tax money gone and you have a bad road, you ain't complaining. When you go to the grocery, the price are high up. You ain't protesting. A new administration come into power. You want to protest. So I want to ask all the petrol train workers who working in CPEP now, why the hell all of them protest? I asking all of that. Why all of them protest? You're working for thousands of dollars for the month. SPNA say everybody going home. Don't ask me who going and who's staying. Everybody going home. All are going home. All are protest? No, nobody are protest. Nobody are protest. The Friday before election, which was Monday, contracts were being ordered, contracts were being signed off and given. When Barry asked the PS, was this properly well done? Well, you know, we don't have no documents. Really? But today, all are quarreling. All are quarreling. But nevertheless, Senior Operator Management at CPEP, Shivanan Balkaran, was also seen speaking with protesting workers. Sacked CPEP laborer, Taryn, voiced her concern after losing her job when contractors were terminated last week. She said she was not satisfied with the 1 month pay to be made. Listen to this.
I used to work CPEP. It's no more. I would like to get an answer of what and when and why. Why they do us that? Because they know that we are poor people in this country. We have lives too. We have bills too. Right? You have a lot of things that we have. I have a mortgage to pay for. I have grandchildren to see about, child to see about. Right? It's very hard. No, I'm not. Because they say that we'll be rehired, but when? If they could tell me again 1 month salary, after that 1 month salary, what you'll be telling me again? Nothing? No, that is unacceptable.
Now, I understand how hard it is to not be working. I understand that. I used to work in a grocery warehouse when I now started in the labor field, in the warehouse and a grocery. And I know how it is to work hard for your money. I know about that. I passed through that when I was younger. But what I want to explain to all you is that the manner in which the contracts were given out, Barry wants to correct it. That is what they want to do. They want to correct the system. They want to make sure there's transparency. They want to make sure there's accountability. They want to make sure that the tendering process is transparent. That is what they want to do. Because I'll tell you something, is your tax-paying money that jumping up? Is my tax-paying money jumping up? And that is what they want to correct. So give them a chance. Barry understand your cry. Let me tell you something. It's not like Barry's a beast in a Barry understand your cry. He understands it. When PNM, not PNM, when UNC was in power the last 5 years, Trinidad and Tobago had growth. We were successful. PNM come and run it for 9 years. Were you successful? No, you was not. You was not. Anything was anything. Cost of living went up. Anybody say anything? No. The money are going home barely surviving. Do you think Barry don't know that? They know that. So I am just saying to you, have a little patience and you will see the difference. It's like the police force. We had the good apple, we had the bad apple. They want to weed out the bad apple to make sure that the good apple prosper. Just have a little patience. They say you will get your month pay, you will get your month pay, push come to squeeze. Go social development, put in a request. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, your life.
Wonderful program as usual. Just 2 quick points.
Tell me.
You know, the wise will always live off of the foolish. The PNM party has realized that they're getting a lot of backup from the poor folks, if you want to use that term, in terms of the workers of CPEP.
Yes.
You know, most of them are single mothers, single fathers, and they're
correct.
probably not high up in the education line.
Correct.
So they use these people that have been using them from a long time ago. You know, they just changed the name from CPEP to other names, but they have been PNM is famous for using these people to do their bidding. So now they realize, listen, we in the opposition, we're already looking bad. So let me see if we could get some backup. So they're clinging now to the CPEP people, putting them into a quandary, meaning that they would make them feel like the UNC come into power and they're going to take away all their bread and butter. You know?
Yes.
Then my second point is, I don't know if you have looked at any meetings that the PNM continue to hold, these cottage meetings and so on. If you look at it, it's equivalent to having a week, you know? Because if PNM was in power and Rowley was there, if he had backed and said, listen, no money for your CPEP done, you know, not a man would have said a thing.
Correct.
Okay, that's my contribution.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying now, citizens, just have a little patience. You're getting your 1 month salary. Barry's promising that they just want to rectify this problem. The audit is going on, and as soon as it's finished, you all can come and start tendering again for your contracts. But they want to clean it up. They want to clean it up. Call a good night. Hello?
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Okay, Saeed,
Yes, my friend.
I'm calling from Tunapuna.
Welcome.
Now you see, I will show you something. These people have been used, abused, and what have you by the PNM.
Correct.
And they continued on that vein.
Correct.
Because here why, the partnership government then, and now that the agency now, said that this is a transformational project. That you just don't remain cutting grass, and it's for no lengthy period. You just go there to sustain your part of it, and then after you will attend other courses and whatnot. You will graduate, get certificate and get employment elsewhere and what other thing. You know. But PNM want to keep following that dependency, that syndrome, that handout, and also going with that. You know, these people have to understand that the contract that was being awarded was fraudulently taken, because here why? Some of them would not have gotten paid because of the fact that the way how the contract was given out with no cabinet notes, no documentation, no procurement. You understand, Saeed? So therefore, they realized that there was no budget fit. There was no money allocated for that with all them contracts and whatnot. And eventually, they would not have gotten paid later down the road.
Correct. Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, 100 new permits for PBR maxis when we return.
be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, Real Talk Financing, 5% on fixed deposit with your interest up front. You cannot go wrong, Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot go wrong. Remember that. So, it up. So viewers, I just want to give a quick shout out to a prominent lawyer in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Timothy Hamill Smith. He is known in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean, and around the world for, I'm going to tell you something. The man is a damn good lawyer, I should say that. He's very good at what he does. So tonight, I just want to give him a little shout out and thanks for the meeting today. All the best to you and your team going forward. So viewers, back to the news. Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakuru, have stated that his 625 priority bus pass letter permit has expired. But Cabinet has approved 100 new maxi taxi permits. The decision to recall the letter or the letter permit was first announced by Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa on May 22nd. She said the letter pass were issued to private motor vehicle at the discretion of the former Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan, and was supposed to be granted for short-term use. Call a good night.
Mr. Saeed, great program as usual, and you did a great job in explaining the CPEP situation to the CPEP workers.
Yes.
And if the CPEP the person who's in charge of CPEP explained that to the CPEP workers, they would have understood
Correct.
that, the
Correct.
problem is with the contractors
Yes.
and not the workers. So you did a great job in explaining that to the CPEP workers, man. God bless you, man. Yeah, and the CPEP workers, I'm certain they understood what you said, because many of them is looking at your program. And they will hold on, man. They are not animals. They will hold on, and they know better days are coming for them. And they're aware of it. But, oh, God, man, what it would have taken to explain, bring some comfort to human beings, Nothing much. But you did a great job, Mr. Said, and that is why your program is so great, Anyway, our Muslim brothers and so on, who has a little problem with the India Prime Minister visiting this country, they must understand it's a handful of them, because we live together with each other, we support each other, we breathe the same air, we eat the same food, and so on, struggle up in life the same way. So it's just a handful of them who is making these silly errors and silly statements and all kind of things. But they must understand India is the third largest economy in the world.
Yes.
India is the pharmacy of the world.
Correct.
India is building their own ships, the helicopters, the aircrafts and everything. And we could do a lot of business with them. India is prospering so much, so fast ahead. They are moving. So my Muslim brothers and sisters, you all try to understand this, and what you all should do is condemn the countries that supply arms and ammunition to kill your brothers and sisters in Iran and in the Gaza and Palestinian. That is what you should be. But you just want to say nothing because you said nobody they go revoke my passport, they go revoke. No. Those are the people you're supposed to be talking about and condemning. Alright, Mr. Saeed, so your program is such a great program, my brother, and to my Muslim brothers and sisters, think out of the box. Think clearly, all right? So God bless you, Mr. Saeed, and your staff. Keep up the great work you're doing.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, however, the minister explained that the 625 letter permit were issued between January and April are now invalid. Listen to this.
When I got into the office 2 months ago, one of my first acts was recalling all 645 letter permits that were issued between January and April. Today, all of those permits, well, tomorrow I should say, all those permits are invalid. Permits were even given out after the election, and my colleague, the former Member of Parliament for Lohokatel Paru, would have collected a pass actually on the 30th of April, 2 days after the general election. I would like to remind him that he has to bring it in by tomorrow.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I will try to get in touch with Eli concerning the demerit point system in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to try to get him to have a live interview with us on television, so you all will know what is the latest concerning the demerit point system and what are they planning to go forward with. Have a little patience. We're going to try to get in touch with him. Not tonight, but maybe in the coming days. Now, according to Zakur, over the past 5 years, 8,330 letter pass were issued. Not justified, were issued at a cost of $1.7 million. Apart from the letter passes, he said that there were 3 other categories: maxi taxi permit, private motor vehicle permit, and permanent permit for public officials. The minister noted that there were over 66 maxis dating as far back as 2018 waiting for permits. So if the maxi uses the priority bus route and they're waiting for a maxi permit to use the priority bus route since 2018, how it is we have gym instructors getting maxi pass? How it is we have gym instructor getting maxi pass? He important to the priority bus route? He training ministers? Sad, eh? But nevertheless, then announced that the cabinet has approved the increase of additional 100 permits for maxi taxis, and they'll be distributed soon. Listen to this.
There are over 66 maxi taxis waiting since as far back as 2018, waiting for permits. But the previous minister refused to issue any because of a cabinet limit that was implemented many years ago. And it raises the question, why did he give out so much permits in other categories by crossing those cabinet approved limits in the hundreds? But he did not go back to cabinet to increase the amount the maxi taxis could get. Well, I stand here to say that cabinet has approved the increase of 100 additional permits for maxi taxis, and they'll be distributed soon.
So trying to imagine that, eh? Imagine that. Maxi taxis who are actually using the PBR. They're still waiting since 2018. And gym instructors getting it. Imagine that. Them working the PBR. I wonder if they're running the PBR. Let me think I run. We have permit. Stinking sad. It's stinking sad. So know that the working class have to suffer like this. Who was Rohan Sinanan before being selected a minister? And who is he after he lost his position? I wonder if they're thinking who they have become now. I wonder if they shoot down the road and people like me. Because I know they had street light and I didn't even fix it. 9 years and you even fix it. But when you fall along in the road now, you want somebody pass and pick you up. It's stinking sad. But nevertheless, moving along, viewers. Minister of Trade, Industry and Tourism, Senator Satyakama Maharaj, is resoluted in its commitment to transforming the country's economy outlook through innovation and diversification. Noting that the narrative for many years centered around this country, trust to diversify the economy from oil and gas sector. Maharaj aimed to do this successfully through leadership and innovation. Listen to this.
Our focus is on generating national revenue, earning and preserving foreign exchange, and attracting both local and foreign investment. We are committed to supporting and strengthening local businesses and institutions, creating meaningful and sustainable jobs, while advancing our technological capacity and skills development.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, in Guyana, the president and the vice president for Guyana said, we are not going to depend on the oil and gas. Yes, we are making an income from it. We are receiving taxes, royalties, but we are not going to depend on it because today, tomorrow, that sector falls. We have nothing again. And what they are doing is they are investing heavily in the agriculture sectors, in the farming sectors. That is what they are doing in Guyana. The agriculture is growing. Their farming department is growing. Their housing development, let me tell you something. The house is even better than Trinidad. Ask me, I go tell you. I will tell you. That is what they are doing. They are not solely dependent on oil and gas. Yet, yes, it is an income. But when the money comes, you invest the money in something. So today, tomorrow, this sector fall. We have this to go on, we have this to go on, we have this to go on. In Trinidad and Tobago, what we have? If the oil and the gas done, we done. And that's just it, we done, plain talk. Real talk with Saieed, as they say. That's where you get in. Did they invest in agriculture? Did they invest in farming? Did they invest in building? Did they diversify our economy? You know what's the answer? No. Oil and gas and that's it. We born in it, we go stay in it, we go die in it. Well, let me tell you something. We suffered when the refinery closed down. We suffered. Who suffered? The ministers? No ministers suffer. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the lower class and the middle class, suffered. Some of them lost house. Some of them lost everything they had. But what we gonna do? Minister pocket fat. They could buy a plane ticket to fly out. They could go in the Hyatt, Hilton and eat. You know why? Because we stupid is paying for it through tax. And what did they give us? You still have the pothole in front of your house 10 years now. You had to work extra hard to buy a what? A computer for your children. You can't get water. Yay! The Prime Minister, yay! So why he telling you tighten your belt? Marvin Gonzalez telling you now, cut down and carry out your children. How much increase he get? 40%. While how much you taking? 4%. Is it that you take it? Or you go home without any? Them debating what you getting. Did you debate them 40% increase? No, you didn't debate that. You didn't debate that. You have no priority in debating what them getting. But them have all the priority in debating what you getting. It's sad, It's sad to know this is the type of leadership we had in Trinidad and Tobago. And we tail between we leg and we go down with we mouth like this. Stinking sad. As I always tell people, if you don't like to hear the truth, turn your station. Because the next day, when the truth and the reality hit you, you don't know how to deal with it. Call good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
You remember Saieed Ali? Well, you had sent one of your guys in Five Rivers here to check a leak. He take the picture of he take a picture of the leak, and he take a picture of the fire hydrant leaking. There's a line right there now since last year. The water, when they open the water, it's spraying up in the air, high up as, I don't know. I call them. Every time I call them and report it, they say they're sending it to the engineer. The engineer going to deal with it, and it look like now, it look like they trying to spite them now. The line get worse. They come and put a clamp on it. They put a second clamp and the line rot. Now I turn and tell them, I say, well, look, I do the job. My plumber say he will do the job and charge all a little, just to cut off the rotten part and change it and put up the up there now they're doing it.
All right, here what to do.
And every time they call in, and if you come and see that side, you will see how water wasting, oh God, man.
All right.
And people suffering for water elsewhere. And they're not doing nothing. You see that crew, that gang we see here, that's called.
Yeah.
They say 844.26.
Yeah.
Them only taking you and they're not doing nothing. The government suppose I want that minister change that code because they're not doing nothing.
All right, here what you do for me. Leave your number with the operator. They will get in touch with you. They will come up and they will check you out and we go highlight it.
All right, thank you, sir.
No problem. Hopefully tomorrow.
Allah bless you.
Hopefully tomorrow somebody from my team will be up there to contact you.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend. You see how this works? All you had to do is just call.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Staying with the Minister of Trade and Industry. The Minister also stated that there were no evidence that the previous government made efforts towards the diversification of the country's economy. Kama said that his ministry inherited a discounted business sector and an environment not conducive to good private sector relation. He said, we will be addressing the short term and will see Trinidad and Tobago graduate to first world status. Listen to this.
Economic indicators are spiraling downward. That's the reality. I am not in the here for theater or for graphics or branding. I'm here to tell you what the reality is. We can either continue heading in that downward direction and becoming a nation of traders and a failed state, or we can change course and steer our country towards first world status.
Highlighting the Tobago tourism industry and Trinidad Carnival as examples of avenues. Now, viewers, we will explore to bolster the economy. Minister Marad said, it is not business as usual, and the bold steps will be taken to ensure long-term growth. So I want to ask the former Minister of Tourism, Randall Mitchell, what did he do for the economy? You have one job, tourism. Grow Trinidad and Tobago in tourism. And what did you do? 9 years, what the hell did you really do? The only thing you could sell is Carnival. After that, what you doing? What you doing really? Promotion of what? Creation of what? Diversification of what? What exactly did you do in your portfolio for Trinidad and Tobago tourism and industry? What exactly? 9 years of sitting down on a chair and getting butt pain. That's how I say it, because you do nothing. You do nothing. Did tourism grow? No. You know what tourism is grow? Only for Carnival. You see that week? That is it. After that, that is it. You sit down in a chair again, stroking a chair. It's sad. It's stinking sad to know that we have ministers educated. Let me tell you something. You had the whole of book sense. But you don't have no common sense into how we're creating something. It's sad, yes? It's sad. So Trinidad and Tobago, anyhow, if that makes sense, we go for a commercial break. Just 7 minutes. Now, viewers, the Airport Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, AATT, has written off a $205 million debt owed by Caribbean Airline, CAL. Yet, to date, struggles to pay outstanding wages and payment owed to employees. Imagine that. Imagine that. Can't write off a debt. 205 million. But you're struggling to pay outstanding debts and wages owed to employees. You big? I can't even do that. Them ranking in the hundreds of millions. I still in the little 100,000, 200,000 bracket. But nevertheless, Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zukuru, raised the issue during Monday night Senate, where the authority is now seeking a $45 million allocation to meet recurrent expenditure. You write off $205 million, but you're seeking $45 million from the government. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
The payment will benefit 444 individuals, 122 former employees, and 322 employees. Regrettably, the authority is unable to meet these obligations from its own account.
You hear that? Let me repeat this for you again, for those of you who didn't hear it. The Airport Authority of Trinidad and Tobago has written off a $205 million debt owed by Caribbean Airline, yet to date struggles to pay outstanding wages and payment owed to employees. Can you hear that for yourself? You just heard the minister. Now, the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zukuru, raised the issue during a Monday night Senate, where the authority is now seeking $45 million allocation to meet recurring expenditure. It's sad, boy. It's sad. It's stinking sad. Me was Eli. I tell everybody resign and go home. I telling you, if you're vexed, you're vexed. You can't do nothing. Me was Eli. I tell everyone all you to resign and go home. Bad, stinking, dirty management is what you call that. That's what you call it. Let me tell you something. You can't come wrong me, you know. I run in 2 financial departments. Real Talk Credit Union and Real Talk Financing. So if all you want a little financial advice, feel free to call me. But the embarrassment and all you. Look, I call Saieed. Real Talk Financing has one of the highest fixed deposit in Trinidad and Tobago right now. Right now we have that. You think the banks will be treating? No, come good. I was always telling you, I have 30 years experience in the financial sector. I could send you up the ladder and I know how to pull you down the ladder. That's the brain this bald head having it. But nevertheless, we're moving along. He said, this is mainly due to write-offs of the massive Caribbean Airlines debt. Listen to this.
In my view, this was reckless and irresponsible. Not to mention the $300 million to acquire lands in Tobago for the new airport, even though state lands were already available nearby, raising red flags about who really benefited.
Trinidad and Tobago, I ain't saying it. All I'm hearing it from the minister. And that's the sad part. Now, he claimed to have reviewed a list of properties owned or owners involved in the Tobago land acquisition, stating they are familiar names. I could imagine who is family and who is friend and who is cousin and who is grand cousin. I could imagine. But nevertheless, Zukuru also alleged that millions of dollars were awarded without any tendering, including for private security service. Listen to this now.
Instead of going out for a tender for security for the entire airport, they were putting out small tenders for selected areas. But multiple tenders for selected areas, eventually, you would select the whole airport. Millions of dollars in contracts in security. The date of acceptance of these letters are April 22, 2025. 1 week before the general election.
So now viewers, hearing this, I want the CPEP people to understand. Them are going after the laborers, They're going after fraudulent contracts. They're trying to save taxpayers' dollars from wastage. So I'll be a little bit. Be a little bit. So viewers, we only have a few minutes left on our program, but nevertheless, also, VEMCOT corruption. Let me raise this a little bit. The Minister, Eli Zukur, has also called out allegation corruption and improper procurement at Vehicle Management Corporation, VEMCOT. During Monday Night Senate, Mr. Eli cited a letter dated April 10, 2023, addressing the former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and copied to several senior officials that called for urgent intervention and an in-depth audit into VEMCOT. Listen to this.
Yesterday I got a call while I was in this chamber. I got a call from somebody. So I ran outside from the bank. The bank that puts you first, by the way. Asking that I provide proof of source of funds of my salary, which was sent electronically by the government to my bank. At the end of the day, I still wait for the money that I worked very hard for. So I understand the lamentation of the ordinary man.
Now viewers, he continued to outline further financial mismanagement. Listen to this.
So this morning I understand that the bank that puts you first wants to get from me 2 forms of ID, a salary slip, and proof of my address. All of this when I've been banking there for the past 14 years. But Mr. President, I will comply, because I've already given them my warrant of appointment from Her Excellency the President as a minister. I have already given them my warrant of appointment from Her Excellency the President as a senator.
So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, In another case, the TTPS allegedly overpaid VEMCOT by $17 million, which the company could not account for. Imagine that. The TTPS overpaid VEMCOT $17 million, and the company cannot give an account. Imagine that. But nevertheless, we are out of time for tonight, viewers. But tomorrow, it thickens. My script will get thicker. We have more for you. Stay locked on. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Remember that. Until, good night.